Hello there and welcome back to another Lego video. Now today, you liked my breakdown of all the Easter eggs in Marvel's Code Red so much, I thought I'd get into the festive spirit and take a look at all the references and Easter eggs in Star Wars Holiday Special. It's a Lego short on Disney Plus, or it's quite a long Lego short. It is nearly 50 minutes, but it's more of a Lego movie. It's just not quite as long as most movies nowadays, as most movies are closer to 2.5 hours, so I'll consider this a Lego short. And let's get right in with the Easter eggs. Now, the first Easter egg is actually right at the start. As you can see on the screen, you get the flashes of helmets and characters from Star Wars, but they're actually all the Lego form. And it's really interesting that they've included this, as the movie hasn't even started, and we're already getting references to classic Lego pieces. Now, the whole premise of this show happens around Life Day, which is a rare event. It happens every 41 or so years in Star Wars, and it really is just the difference between the first episode, A New Hope, and the final, Rise of Skywalker. And this does take place after the First Order has fallen, the Final Order has fallen, so it's quite a funny reference that Rey is now training Finn, as that is what we all assume to be happening after the episodes of 7 to 9. But we don't know for sure yet. The only source of this we've got is, of course, this holiday special and the recent diorama that came out about this exact scene. Now, another reference that you may have missed, though it was included not only in The Rise of Skywalker, but also at the end of The Last Jedi, is the fact that Rey actually saved the Jedi text from the tree before Yoda burnt it. So when he said that the tree has nothing that Rey doesn't already possess, he quite literally meant the fact that she'd stolen the sacred Jedi text, and Luke had no idea. So it's a nice reference to include in this show. Now, whilst Rey is reading into a prophecy about a temple on Kordoku and how something happens once a year, but the real interesting point is right at the top of the screen. You can see a bunch of Orbesh letters, and if you're not fluent in Orbesh, then it doesn't matter, because I can tell you what these letters spell out, and it is in fact Sidious, which of course is Palpatine's Sith name, which quite a funny reference that he'd not only stolen the lightsaber craft from the Jedi and didn't even use a lightsaber because it was just that below him, and in fact made it out of the same gold that Jedi treasure just to spite them because he could. But now he's also stolen his Sith name from one of the old Jedi texts. So, of course, this is Lego. It's not exactly canon. Nothing's hard fact about it. But as Lucas would say, until this is proven otherwise, this is definitely my headcanon. Now, the next Easter egg is a subtle nod when Mace Windu, amongst all the other characters, come falling through a portal. However, most of them jump through or get pulled through one way or another. Of course, the last time we saw Mace Windu on our screens, he was falling out a window of the Chancellor's office on Coruscant, so it only makes sense that the next time he shows up, he'll be falling back through the other end of the portal. So it's a nice nod to where Mace Windu left. Now, whilst the Life Day party is going on, Poe is trying to prepare some, I think it was called TP, which is an actual food you can buy at Galaxy's Edge, and indeed they do use engine roasting at Galaxy's Edge as well, which is a nice little Easter egg. But Finn starts singing Joe Blasto, which is a Huttese take on the classical Jingle Bells. Now, Rose seems to be the only one that knows this song, so she joins in singing along and gets everyone up and dancing, and I guess this has now become some Life Day celebration. I suppose it's close enough to Christmas, with it being the end of November, I believe, and the first holiday special was very Christmassy-fied when it came out back in the 70s, but it's a nice little nod to a real-life Christmas song. Now, whilst Rey's travelling some of the most iconic Star Wars scenes, she returns to the cave and has a little self-pitied moment, and we have the Yoda narrating it, which we got at the start of the movie, but this time he actually appears to her, and much like most other iconic scenes throughout the prequels, throughout Luke being taught in the originals, and now Yoda coming back in the sequels, Yoda hops in to give Rey a bit of that Jedi wisdom that she needs to carry on. And eventually, Palpatine did recruit Kylo in place of Vader at some point, But then Luke and Rey step through this magical portal that was created, and in order to solve the whole premise of the movie, which Rey somehow ended up giving Kylo to Palpatine and causing a whole mess of the sacred Star Wars timeline. But we get something that looks like it should have been in one of my old what if videos I made before I started making Lego videos, as we now have a Luke in his farm boy era aboard the second Death Star with BB-8. Palpatine's there from Return of the Jedi. We then have an episode 9 Kylo and Rey fighting, and as you can see, Kylo would happily make quick work of Luke right here, and he's sort of getting his revenge for what happened to Kylo when he was a kid, when Luke tried to assassinate him. But of course we can't let the villains win. And of course, at the end of Star Wars, Vader throws Palpatine down the shaft, which happens at the end of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and Vader actually rips off his cloak to reveal a Death Star Christmas sweater, which of course is the Vader we got that year in the Advent calendar. I think we even got a cameo of an ice gonk earlier on in the movie, which we did get a snowman gonk I think this year, which is really cool that they've included it. The Christmas jumpers are still about today. In fact, the Emperor is the one this year who got his own Christmas jumper alongside a Christmas Ewok, and we're still even getting the gonks. We got a reindeer gonk this year for the Advent, so stick around for December. Subscribe so you don't miss each day of the Advent. And it was just a really fun way to end this movie. Of course, everyone gets taken back. Luke is one of the last, I think he might even be the last besides Rey and BB, to get placed back into their own timeline. But Rey then leaves back to her timeline to fix the whole Christmas party and send everyone else back to their timelines, as I guess Luke was in fact the first person to go. But it is a really fun movie, and if you haven't watched it, do check it out. I know I've covered quite a few of the Easter eggs, but I haven't covered everything, so be sure to head over there and watch the rest. And that is all for today's episode of Easter Eggs in the Holiday Special, so I hope you enjoyed, and may the bricks be with you always.